Welcome back for the present lecture on digital image processing practical titled ENVI Preference setting. And this practical, normally what is the importance of this practical is we have to first set our preference. So what does it mean? Preference, a word itself, that what is your interest? Preference is given to what? Preference, it is inbuilt meaning. It can vary from person to person how to set their likings. Rather, I will say like this. Say for example, if I am doing 3 projects at a time, 3 research projects, or 3 scholars are pursuing their PhD with me, I need to know that where the data has to be stored, where the data has to be analyzed, and where the data has to be saved. Otherwise, what will happen? It will be stored here and there, and at later stage, and we will be in trouble to recall those. I had an experience initially with working with this type of image processing and GIS software, that keeping data at one place is always safe. That's why that it is not carrying only one GIS or image processing. If you do any operation with the digital satellite data, there are 3-4 database will generate automatically, because image processing or this one GIS, it is not a map making tool that you can do it by drawing by using other softwares. But this is the software working with only digital data, and it has to be generated with respect to the geospatial, I mean geographical locations, and everything has to be stored at one place. It is linked with the source data, it is linked with the output data, and it is linked with the attribute data of the particular pixel. So if you generate, you think that when you are operating a mouse over the digital data, it means you are at the back end, you are touching the table data. So this is the basic concept of image processing, that attribute table, it is mathematically, arithmetically, it is being worked out, and then the answer of what is your expectation maybe in classification, it's coming in the front. It means what I wanted to convey, that 2-3 files will generate automatically parallelly. It has to be kept at one place to join together. So preference setting is one such important, that you should know that how to set your interest. My first project, this is the path I need. All the database has to be stored here. From here I have to call, do all the analysis, and this is the place where I want to save. I am giving only one example. From in the data to out, in between also, for all sort of our analysis, we can set our preference, so that system will not immediately ask you every time. Otherwise pop-up con will come and then will ask you, will get little bit confused to say where it is. So once if you set this, spend for about half an hour or so to set your preferences to start any project before. So let us discuss based on this importance of this lecture, practical experience on preference setting of ENVI image processing. Now I will go to the software. So straight away, once if you open the software, your monitor will come like this, and we know that there are 3. This is the main window. You have different icons here: file, edit, display, and this is layer window. This is map display window, and this is tool window. There are 3 major windows that we have to be updated. I have asked you, you just go through all the buttons which is there on the top of it, operate yourself, understand what is the use of all the menus on the main menu. Now coming to this preference setting, you go to file, see there, last but 3, preference. Click preference, you will get a window like this. And now normally it will appear like this initially. Now you have to open this setting and see that what are all the other sub modules are there in the setting. Now let us see one by one, wherever it is important I will explain, So that normally this is helping us to keep the database. Otherwise, database maintenance becoming a big task for any people, those who are working with a database, normal database, but ours is both spatial and non-spatial database. We have to be doubly careful. So taking into account, let us see the settings how to do. This is the application, that how you are going to use this application for your. See, this is a, you want to confirm whether you want, when you are opening or when you are coming out to exit, do the system should ask you? Yes, it should ask. Do you want to save the changes? It should ask. If you say false, it will not ask. If you close, it will not ask, do you want to save? So such a icon, be careful that first you do restore defaults, and then wherever you want, you please change and then keep according to your style for your subjects. But don't do it unnecessarily. What is this? If you want to know, you please operate with the test data, not with your original data of spending larger time. Enable system login. No, it will ask you every time that suppose if you lock, like mobile, if you lock this, if you make it true, it will ask you what to be done. And if you give some keyword, then it will ask every time. That is not required for the software to open. As far as mailology is concerned, display error, yes, it is very important. It should tell what error is coming. Otherwise, we will not know that what is the error. It will automatically close sometime. By the time once if you are not understanding whether it is process is completed or not, you are not in position to know that your work is completed or not. So this is also very important. The restore messages, click on restore messages, that is also required, that let it be all this. And whether if you want, you can change over here, or otherwise you can leave it. And similarly, this data manager and this data manager is almost same, similar work it will do. Auto display files open, because you have to set next one. Yes, it should open all, everything should. Otherwise, if you make a false here, what will happen? It will ask you which band you want to open. And then you will get confused. My band is 5 or my band is 6, or I am going to make FCC or TCC. You open everything and then decide what you want to work. Let it be. Please don't change. Auto display method, yes, it is also true color. And you can also make there is one more option called color infrared. If you have a data on color infrared, you can use, but normally we use only true color. Clear view when loading next image, yes. Otherwise, you can also keep the old one also. If you put to true, it means it will not clear. It will keep the old image as such. It will load the other image on the top of it. That we can do it. Of course, we unless if you don't know, sometimes you may forget to close without saving. By the time it will ask. Launch data manager at the startup, yes. No, it is not required. Launch data manager after closing, this is also. Close data manager. So it is relevant to the data. You please go through, and according to your interest you keep it. But this is very important. Where you are going to keep all your database directories. It means where you are going to save the data, where the input data you are keeping. Set this. You can click here. See, if you click, you can set like this. I can put click sun. I can put like this. If I say, if I give OK, it will set. But now I have set for this practical exercise in a Z drive. And similarly for output also we can define. If you are doing any temporary work, it will always save in the temporary, so that you can at last delete it and the whole directory. Auxiliary, if you have any other databases like Excel data sources or Word data sources, if you want to clip and show, that you can also keep separately. Extension of any other files, as I said, this software ENVI, it has got an extension like LIDAR separate extension for your this one microwave, it has got separate extension. So you can keep extension over here whenever you want. You can click, otherwise unnecessarily that application also will run. It will reduce your speed of processing. And you can give custom code. You can run a program if you have written for this. And coming to the display also, you can set the display. Do you want any stretching of the data to be open? No, normally we never require. But you see, Gaussian stretch, equalization stretch, square stretch, logarithmic stretch, linear 1%. For this, we should know the theory background of this. Yeah, that is different. If I discuss everything, it will again a big lecture with respect to stretching alone. That is there in the separate module. And default stretch, this is the default stretch. Normally they have by restore default they have given by 2% stretching. Zoom interpolation, normally there are many methods are there. We are using bilinear, nearest neighborhood, bicubic, bilinear or bicubic. It's better to use. And the nearest neighborhood also by default they have given. And similarly, you just go through one by one. If you have any doubt with respect to these words, maybe you have to refer the textbook of image processing. And this directory setting is important. Similarly, here also default selection color. This is the default selection color of the data. You can change the color. Even if you want to change the color, you just drop down and then see according to your interest. It will show low resolution time catch. Yes, if the resolution is very less, it will also highlight you. Default middle mouse button is pan button. Yes, you can use the middle mouse button to push up or push down. Push up, it means it will zoom. And so this you can keep. You go through, it is very easy, handy. And similarly, north arrow set in the map. North arrow set in the map also can set. I'll show you that how the north arrow set in the map and the changes are there in the map. You can see. Suppose if I am taking a false color composite and then I am loading the data. After loading the data, north is coming on automatically. But in the preference setting, you can set the what is that? You can set according to your interest. As I said earlier, north arrow. You go to north arrow and set. You can change the color of your this one data. I put if I select and then you can also change the place and size, everything. So it's very simple, like how we are doing it in Word. You can change the size. Maybe you increase the size into 40. And you can even ask your system to keep the corner where you want to keep, lower left corner or upper left corner, and if you say OK, automatically it will go here, this side. So it is like this, that you once if you set, you don't need to do any annotation. It is like map layout, that you set title, you set legend, you set north, you set scale. For one map, if you do automatically, if you use these preferences, you don't need to do it for all the other maps. So it will be easy. Your workload will be very less, so that you can concentrate for analytical part of the worker. And the preferences we have seen up to north arrow and plot. When you want to take printout, you see you have preference. What's our A0 size, A4 size, A3 size. You set, and then color also, symbol color, everything. And the overview and the pyramid also. Of course, this is not much we are using local setting. For annotation like text, when you are typing in the map images, you can change the color of the text. You can change, even if you want to edit that also you can do it. Symbols for giving temple, railway station, bus stand, different symbol. Everything is very interesting. Arrow you can give, and then you can change it. It's annotation like how we are doing in Microsoft software, that MS Office software tools. And this is security, NITF. We don't have much to play on the security issues, not much knowledge for us. And the remote connectivity, this is one. You can connect, suppose if you want any data directly to be downloaded from such sources like NRC Bhuvan, or you want to give your data sources to somebody else of your work, you can give the path, or you can access your server by connecting this remote connectivity. Yes, this is also possible. You can set by giving this number and then make yes. Now I have done everything. That's after that, you see I am going to file. I am going to file and I am opening a file. When I am setting and I get everything, you see it is not asking directly. It is going to my folder. Suppose if I am saving, it will not ask you. It will not ask you. It will automatically, if you put save as and then see, it will go to the direction what you have given. You see, this is what 2015 image. This is the direction I have given already. So it stops here. You can see what is the direction it is. Test question 4. You want to save here. Yes, that's it. Your job is over. Otherwise it will be displaced in different location as per the direction of the softwares and all. I mean inbuilt OS. It will be problem for us. Sometimes it will be deposited in temp file also. So with this preference setting lecture comes to an end, and this is very very important for us to work effectively. That's what I am concluding for this lecture. So if you want to work very effectively, preference setting is very very important, not only for this, even for GIS also. Thank you very much.